The embassy ballroom sparkled like a stage set, every shimmer a carefully curated illusion. Crystal chandeliers rained light onto velvet gowns and polished smiles, each gesture rehearsed, every laugh perfectly timed. I held a glass of something bitter and meaningless, the taste lost to nerves, when he leaned toward me. My ex-wife's husband, the diplomat, exuding entitlement with every breath, whispered words that sliced through the gilded air. "Your daughter's in my car," he said, voice low and deliberate, "if you don't give me your source." His words clung like smoke, lingering in the pit of my chest. For a moment, heat flared across my ribcage as I pictured her tiny hands pressed against cold glass, lips quivering, pleading silently for me. But my face remained still. Not a muscle twitched. Instead, I touched my earpiece lightly. "Alpha Team," I murmured, calm and measured. "Target identified. Package is in the blue sedan. Green light." His eyes flickered, betraying surprise. He hadn't expected me to be listening already. That split second, that subtle exchange, altered everything. The gala continued around me, a blur of laughter and music. I floated through conversations, nodding at strangers, all the while the echo of his threat burned behind my eyes. Across the room, my ex-wife laughed, her fingers brushing his arm with an intimacy she had never granted me. But it wasn't just the threat. It was the possessive gleam in his gaze that froze me. Suddenly, the edges of a truth I'd ignored became sharp and undeniable. She hadn't left me for love. She had treated me like a piece on a chessboard, my daughter a bargaining chip. Memories surged unbidden, nights she claimed were late at work, the way her phone flipped screen down without a word, the invisible walls that rose between us. I had dismissed these signs, telling myself betrayal was too predictable, too banal to apply to her. But the familiar patterns proved unavoidable. Clichés exist because people act predictably. She had built her new life atop the ruins of mine, and now my child was caught in the crossfire of their staged theater. I did not let anger take the reins. Rage clouds judgment. Instead, I followed the breadcrumbs with quiet precision, phone records, travel itineraries, financial transfers hidden under the cloak of diplomatic immunity. Every careful move, each subtle check, confirmed the reality I had tried to deny. Her allegiance had never been mine, and his concern for my daughter was far from innocent. At home, I tucked her in each night, listening to whispered questions about the life she could no longer understand. I reassured her with soft words, but inside, I catalogued hours, memorized facial expressions, deciphered every pause, every silence. Outwardly, I maintained calm, coffee in the morning, light-hearted chatter at work, polite smiles in public. Beneath it, time ticked steadily, drawing me closer to the inevitable confrontation. It wasn't exploration or chance I was chasing, it was certainty. Each file, each document, each small discovery built the framework of unavoidable truth. When the DNA results landed on my desk with a quiet thump, my hands did not shake. I had rehearsed this moment countless times, every possible reaction, every scenario. The proof was inescapable. She was not his stepchild. She was his daughter. Not legally, not through adoption, by blood, undeniable and irrevocable. The betrayal crystallized in my chest, sharp and cold. That evening, I orchestrated the dinner. A neutral table, a soft candlelight masking the knives beneath words. I handed her the folder first. Her fingers froze, eyes scanning, widening with every second. He shifted in his seat, discomfort etched into his features. "What is this?" he demanded, but my gaze held him like a scalpel. "The truth," I said simply. No accusations. No shouting. Silence stretched heavy in the space between us. Then I placed the second envelope on the table, legal filings, custody documents. Every threat recorded and time-stamped from the Gala. Undeniable evidence, a meticulous account of their crimes. Their eyes darted between the paper and me, searching for leverage, seeking a reaction. I offered none. "You'll survive this," I said evenly, voice steady. "But you will do it without her." She reached for me, pleading, but I remained unmoved. He swore under his breath, fury barely contained, but I allowed a small, controlled smile, the kind you wear at a funeral when the coffin is justly deserved. I stood, leaving them in the suffocating quiet, drowning in the aftermath of truth. Their power evaporated under the weight of evidence and precision. Later, I sat beside my daughter, watching her sleep. Unaware of the war waged in her name, she breathed softly, innocence untouched by deceit. I brushed a strand of hair from her forehead, feeling neither triumph nor joy, only clarity. Betrayal does not obliterate at once. It corrodes slowly until life's shape is unrecognizable. I had allowed it to rot me quietly. Tonight, I excised it with precision. They would hold no sway over her, nor over me again. As I turned off the light, a singular thought settled, cold, unwavering, and absolute. I do not lose twice.